So I sent a very short one, but there are a lot of additions to it right now.
You had sent me on your
See, this
WhatsApp.
particular one, I did it in June.
June.
Mm.
The session that you did only with us.
No, no. This was a session I had done.
Shishya, Anandi.
Yes, yes.
Then I might not have in your and mine uh,
Okay.
chat, है ना? Then it must be an email from you to
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
You want me to look for it right now?
Mm. Not necessary, but okay. So I what I'll do is I'll just no, I'll present a part of it first. You know, so maybe I'll mail it to you at the end of this. So
Okay.
basically, what we are doing in freehand geometry is culminating everything that they have learned in grade 1 to 4 as form drawing. Okay. Now here you also get a little bit of a terminology wherein you are speaking about what is a circle. I get them to walk in the circumference of the circle, and I tell them, children, this is for regular polygons. I will say it is a perimeter. The four sides. And you don't have to get deeply into it. Just that they know this outline is called perimeter. This is a triangle. This is a square. This is a rectangle. The difference between, what is, and I also gave them this idea of what are quadrilaterals. Any uh, forms, geometrical forms, which are having four-sided figures. Now, it could be anything. It could be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be a rhombus, it could be a parallelogram, it could be just trapezium, trapezoid, all these kind of things. Just four uh, sides polygon. It may not be regular. What is the regular polygon? All these discussions we had during that. I told them a little bit of what is the radius, what is the circumference, and all that. So they kind of understood a little bit of terminology. And we used to do a lot of movements where I'd ask the class to make a straight line. So there are 2 points of, so I'd given this uh, things to children. So if there are there are about 24, 23 students in my class, so four of them I told them, if I say square, you have to be the points of the square. Okay, so then they come, raise their hands, and look at the other three and make sure that their square is well formed, and the other children will come and join the lines to make a square. So that way. So then I'd given another three children triangle. Another three children got pentagon. Another two children got straight lines. Where there is the beginning point and the end point, everyone else will make a straight line between them. And then I also created two children. I said, you have to come and stand in front, and others will make a line behind you, like parallel lines. And after all these movements we had for a week, we would also discuss and say, children, what are intersecting lines, what are parallel lines, where do you see it in nature? So most of the lot of discussions happened where they said the most of the grills of the window and the our gates have some parallel lines, intersecting lines. So what is perpendicular, all that, a little bit of geometry we did there. We also understood what is circumference, what is circle, and what is a spiral. How do you make a spiral that is going in? How do you make a spiral going out? All these things we worked with. And then we moved on to our drawing every day. So here I would take, in the beginning, my first exercise was to do a circle and then to make smaller and smaller circles inside this circle. So made about 6 to 8 concentric circles to the best of their capacity. And I would tell them always to start very light, and when they are very happy with their circle, Then they go about with a dark one. And then they make a light circle inside that and then go about with a darker color. And then shading and all that started developing. After that, we did this kind of thing of concentric, circles or squares or triangles. So we made one big triangle, made smaller triangles in this, one big square and made smaller squares in that. Basically, like, it's becoming smaller and smaller. One triangle, one, what do you say? One hexagon and made inside hexagons. So first few days we were only concentrating on these. Then we slowly moved on to making other forms. So they were very irregular forms that I chose. Uh, like I'd get them to first make a nice border and uh, draw random lines. Okay. And within the random lines, wherever there are triangles that have formed, I've asked them to color it. And randomly I'd also choose different colors and color it. And they also, so if you see this form, there have been random lines that have been drawn by them. And this is all done without the ruler. Okay. And then they have, you know, gone ahead and done the coloring inside. So, and I looked in Pinterest for a lot of forms and I've started, working around it. So every day we would do one form or two forms on an average. So this is one of the forms. I'll send this document to you. Okay. So these you can start much later. But you see these within the circle, there is a rectangle, and within the circle, so many triangles. All these can be done in the beginning. And then we also made a circle and made random lines around it. And I told them, children, these are called tangents. Whenever there is, the circle is touching a line, so these are called tangents. So a little bit of, through my forms, I was also teaching them a lot of terminology for this. And this was one form I started with in between. And I actually first taught them how to make, lines, parallel lines first. And then I connected the top two and the bottom two. And then that was giving another raise to another, another set of parallel lines. And it was very important that the hexagon, all the sides are equal, and they're equidistant. Otherwise, it will come very longish and eventually it will become rhombus instead of hexagon. So we really had to work around it with the children to make it, to be precise. And I take a little bit of time. I make the first set of parallel lines, then go and see everyone. Then I join the top two, and then I join the bottom two, and then I go and look at them. Many children need help in these forms. It's not very easy for everyone. Some of them can do a very beautiful job. Some of them find it very, very difficult to work with us. So take times.
If I really make it like this,
Hmm.
so you made the straight lines first, two parallel, and then you rubbed it, or no? You just drew small parallel lines and then you
Wait, wait,
started
I'll show
connecting
you.
it like this.
Wait. So what I did first was basically, I got them to do. So I got them to do these lines first. Okay. And then I just joined the top. Okay. And then the next step, then I joined the bottom. So you've got good set. Now above this pointed lines is where your next set of hexagons come. So then you do top and bottom. Look at
Okay,
where your lines are. Now then again close it to make your hexagons.
I
So
get it.
to take slow steps, and
I
then
think the important bit in this is that now when I did it randomly, but I have to be very careful that lines are not only parallel, but
yeah,
lines are equal also.
yes, yes. And if you feel that they are longer, if you look at it, the ones that are middle are longer. I wouldn't. I'd be very careful with this in the while I'm working. Especially if I'm working on the board, I would really make it as precise as I can make. Okay.
Mhm.
So, then we did forms like these. Okay. Then we moved on to some triangles, just basic rhombus in a circle to the.
This is so just many parallel lines and then many parallel lines. Or no, this looks like one rhombus you've made.
Yes, yes. Or you can also do something. You can also get them to draw slant lines on this side and this side. Then
Yes.
tell them you can color it the way you want.
Hmm.
The coloring is always their choice, but I do guide them during the, working with the, while I'm working with the form, I give a lot of guidelines. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Give me a minute. So that's not. I'll just go forward. Okay, give me a minute. I'll just. Sure, how do I link this? Okay, sorry. There's some network issue here. And then after doing a lot of lines and curves and all that, I started doing other simple, what do you say, Mm, forms. For example, I'll just show you this. This was almost, I would say, 20th or 19th, 18th form or something. It's a little, off. Give me a minute.
You showing something, Savita?
Yeah, yeah. Give me a minute.
हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है.
So first we actually made a big rectangle here. And then I made random shapes, and it was just filled with uh, some very tiny small circles. But it took them almost 2 days, actually, not so much for the geometric shapes, but to fill it in, and everyone did it in different ways. Some of them actually did rainbow colors of the circles itself. Some of them randomly used different colors. Some of them came up with their own creativity and all that. So these, uh, then so whatever they learned, I started integrating it in this way. And then I was asking them,
But
okay,
what
what
is
is
the
this?
purpose of this?
What is the, see, here my basic objective is to get them to work as precisely as possible without the form, without the instruments. Okay. Another thing is also trying to create aesthetics according to their own skill. It always need not be what I am doing. And coloring, shading was always their choice, although I gave them a few ideas how to do it. So this was one of the ideas. Another thing is this kind of forms, they said, can we just fill it up with a block crayon? I said no. This was also, one needs to be very patient when you're working with something like this. And
Hmm.
the children who are artistically gifted, they don't have a problem. But I have to work with the others, who are not artistically gifted, and they have to learn patience.
But I don't see artistic gift here. I see patience only here.
Yeah. See, the
This,
ones
for
who
this
have
form specifically.
artistic skills, they will, they will do a better job of shading it.
Ah.
I like I told you, one of the students actually started with doing only violet circles, and then she went on to do dark blue circles, and then light blue circles, then green circles, then so this so here you see all random colors,
Ah.
and I have also our chalks. No, I don't like to waste on foam drawing so much. The mercurius, I would prefer to use it for drawing, but they had a good range of, and she did a beautiful violet to red transformation of those tiny circles in between, and
Mm.
these were the things for others to learn. So they said, oh,
Mm.
we could have done this, oh, I could have done it, I could have done another way. So the children who are already aesthetically inclined, they get more, they try to challenge themselves and do a better job. The ones who can't do any artistic work, at least all they have to do is patiently fill it up. And then
Patiently
some of
fill
them
it
were making
up.
big circles. I said, no, just for the sake of filling it up, you cannot make big circles. All these circles should be more or less the same size, because there are there are circles, there are ellipses, there are all other shapes. So these shapes cannot dominate that. What your filling should be, just like your filling. So all these things we did. So actually, what I'll also do today, I completely forgot about this session. I'll take a picture of one of the children's book, one after the other. And
Hmm.
I'll send how we went on to, from one form to another, exploring different forms. Okay, so give me a minute. So, I also still keep, so I got to work with form drawing only for about 8 to 9 working days. So it was just for a 2 week block in the second term. But this is something we did recently. So what I do is every week I continue to do at least one form still. But if you have a 3 week block and you can manage quite a bit, you can. So what happened during that time is almost 45 minutes was catered for Olympic practice, and then 45 minutes was catered to form drawing session. So because of which I technically got very less time. So after that, every week I make sure that we do one form or the other. Now, what we are doing right now, I'll just show. So I just randomly got them to make about 16 squares yesterday. Okay, and then we were doing intricate forms in that. I call it tile work, basically, where
You call it
I call it tile work.
Kai.
Tile, Tile,
Tile work. Huh.
tile work. Okay, where, but this is again very, very intricate form. What I'll do is I'll also photograph it and put it
Yes.
in this. So, and in this particular one, they had to be very careful that within their book, they need to make, uh, first they need to make equal squares of 16. So 1, 4, 4, 4, and 4. And then everything had a different form and they had to do that. Plus, I also started, uh, so a lot of designing, was happening during this block, basically working with all kinds of random forms. And, the children who find it very difficult and talk a lot and all that, I found whenever start these intricate forms, they're just they're just sitting and trying to figure out and do it. At least for 5 to 8 minutes, they just sit and try and do, and after that, of course, they lose it. Form is not easy for them, but again, I also tell them, okay, if you can't, then do it after some time. Leave it now, finish your sums, come back to it again. So that's what we started doing. That's what I started doing to make sure the precision is there, the very fine forms are there, and so on. So started with very coarse, big ones, and then moved on to smaller ones like these. And now also, so yesterday I started the form and I completed it today. So all those 16 boxes which we did, yesterday we did about 10 boxes, and today we finished the rest of the 6 boxes. And so just, going on adding to it. After
Basically, you
this,
are
I would,
experiencing all the shapes
yes,
in aesthetic way.
yes, and precise to the extent that they can do it. So when I see that a child can do it and is not giving enough effort, then I'm not going to accept that. So that is also, then I say, I want you to stick up a paper, or I want you to do the form in another page. If you are happy, then I want you to stick it up on the same page where you made, where you did a shabby work. So that is also, I'm really expecting good work out of that uh, block or class or whatever. So all these we started doing, and we've come to really. So they basically know most of the terminology. What are circles? What is an ellipse? What is hexagon, octagon, triangle? Pentagon, basic shapes. Plus, they have done a lot of uh, forms and all that. So all this comes under the freehand geometry. A little bit of terminology. You can also do, I did a lot of four horizontal and vertical symmetry in grade 3 and 4. If you haven't done enough of that, you can get it here again. Okay, and I worked a lot with Celtic forms in grade 4. Okay, if you feel that you didn't do enough, then it can come back here, in forms. But otherwise, I don't feel a need. This itself is a very good, you know, thing to work with. So that's about the freehand geometry. Now, yes, you're on mute, Bijal. I can't hear you.
Sorry. So we keep on doing various shapes.
I
Uh,
would. I would. And what I also did is in the beginning of the year, of course, I started a lot of dotted forms, the Indian rangolis.
yes.
Okay, so I also get a little bit of that, but not right now. I'm still working on these forms. I still have a few in mind which I want to, get them to do. After that, I will use this book to do the Indian rangolis also, because we've been doing in extra work sometimes as borders and all that. But slowly, I'll start using I'll get them to do more and more Indian rangolis also till till the end of the year. So that's how I'm going to close the block.
Hmm.
Okay, and then I think I'll move to okay. So geometry again, because you want to teach them how to hold the instrument and work with, and also this is probably just before they're going to grade 6. Maybe you can do it, but just see where they're able to take it, where they're not able to take it, drop some things or pick up some things, and so on. So what I would continue to do is work with the circle. Now, in freehand geometry, I work only with circumference and radius. But if I'm doing geometry, then I would move on to working with circumference, radius, diameter. Tangent, I've already done it with freehand geometry. I'll get that back. Major and minor segment. So what is a chord? And if the chord is, it's not the diameter, but on the upper or the lower part of the circle, then it is dividing the circle into two major segments. One is the biggest segment is the major segment, the smallest one is the minor segment. So something like this. And let me also see if I. So all this terminology of the geometry block, and I would get them to work to walk. In fact, for the whole week, I would do something like walk the circumference of the circle. I'd get one child to go in the middle of the circle and say, to go to the center of the circle and say, walk the radius, and go to one point of the thing and walk the diameter, and so on. Okay. So all this I would do. So basically here, again, I'm presenting the very important here, whatever we did in freehand geometry, again, it can come back. The only three new things, line, they know. Line segment, you need to get them very clearly. When there are two endpoints, it's a line segment. When there is one endpoint and it is moving in another direction, it is a ray. So something, these, this is very important in geometry, where they really understand what is a line, what is a ray, what is a line segment, what are parallel lines, what are intersecting or perpendicular lines.
This is happening in grade 5 only right now.
No, this is happening in grade 6 for me.
Okay.
Okay, but because you want to do
But
geometry.
you spoke about parallel in the first grade 5 also.
Yes, I
Perpendicular,
have
you
spoken.
spoke
Yes,
about it.
yes, we spoke about the train tracks, the grills of the windows,
Tangent,
you know, the curtains, both the sides of our curtains, many places, all our tables have, put two parallel lines, four parallel lines for that matter. So all this was discussed. Again, it is brought back, but this I would do in grade 6, and I start off right in the beginning of grade 6. And then if you can, through movements, do this very often. And then when you come back to actually making a circle, if you can just tell them what is a radius, which one is a diameter, and basic understanding of through the circle itself. Okay. And then if you look at it here again, radius, diameter, what is an area, what is a tangent, what is the major segment and minor segment. So when it is divided by chord, that is major and minor segment. But when it is divided by an arc and an angle, then it is major sector and minor sector. All this I did it in movement, and then moved on to working with. And then we did the 6 division of a circle. Okay, so these are the steps for 6 division of a circle. Did you get your geometry?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So can we just try? Now
yes.
I have drawn 5 circles here. You don't have to draw 5 circles. Okay. So
Okay.
first just draw the circle and make the diameter. And if you are using the tools in the class,
Hmm.
you have that big compass and all that to be used on the board, I would prefer you practice it before going to the class. When the children are not there, practice making a straight line with the ruler.
Yes,
Practice making as many circles as you can.
yes,
Do that. So while you're doing this construction here in the book, before you go to the children, it's better you practice it yourself first.
yes.
Okay. So I'll give you the steps now. So just make one circle.
With any specific radius or any radius?
So I would say any radius, just make sure that it is fitting in your paper. It should not be too big or too small. Maybe take 8 centimeters. If you have an A4 sheet, I think 8 centimeters radius might be too much. Maybe six. No, it will not be too much. It's
I've
21. Yeah.
Yes, I've taken 4 centimeters. So I think 4 centimeters is approximately the size that you've shown on the screen.
Yeah, but you're not doing five. You're only doing one. So make as big as possible.
Okay.
Okay. This will be later for you a reference. First you do a lot of circles and they do circles, and then you can get something like this in the middle of the page. Yes,
Children also move their book while making using
you
this
should
instrument.
not. Neither
No,
should we.
the book is not, the page is not moved at all. The hand, the fingers.
Neither the book nor, only the compass should move and the pencil should move. They should not move the book. See, in freehand geometry, I allow it a little bit because they're not using the instruments. They do move the book and all that. But you see, when they're not working with the instrument and they're trying to get circles as precisely as possible, and they want to move it a little bit, they want to do it from that side, this side, I accept it. Not during the geometry. So if you have done the uh, circle, okay, I want you, so if I'm just shading it out. So imagine that this is your circle and this is probably your center. Go to any point on the circumference of the circle. Just go to any point on the circumference of the circle. Okay. And there, don't change the radius of your circle now at all. Okay. So whatever is your radius, that is going to stay. And from this point, okay, and your same radius, I want you to just cut it on the circle. So you will get
Create
about,
an arc.
yeah,
Then on the next point, I again draw it.
yes, again, you keep on doing that till you reach the first point. It has to come precisely because every circle can be divided. If you take the length of the radius, it will be divided exactly into 6 points.
Right.
Okay. So did you get that?
Yes.
Not a millimeter here and there, okay?
Hmm.
It should be. So that is what you're expecting out of the children when you're working with the instruments.
Hmm.
Not even a millimeter here and there, okay? So once they do that, then what I do is, again, I start from here, okay? So I would say probably with A as center and radius equal to same radius, I draw an arc. So
Using
with
the
this, that
instrument only, right?
same radius, yes.
Yes, I could do it.
Yeah. So like that, you do from every
Every
point, and
point.
you'll be able to finish that 6 petal flower. So from every point, if you do that arc, you'll be able to finish that.
Yes, I've done, but I'm so sorry. I'm not able to show because of the camera. And it's perfectly there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it'll come something like this, maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And
So
then,
this has come for me also.
yeah, coloring is their choice. Okay.
And then they rub this diameter.
I didn't make the diameter actually, but it's okay. Yeah, they erase the diameter.
You didn't make a
I didn't
diameter.
make it. I
I
actually
had
asked
set it
you
in
how
that
to.
5, no, then
Ah,
I made.
ah,
Right, right, right.
yeah. Okay. So then, you can eventually reach this. I also work with concentric circles. I start with, uh, in our main lesson book, you can make up to a 12 centimeters radius ka circle. And then with same center, I make 10 centimeters circle, 8 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 2 centimeters. So then you'll get nice concentric circles and get them to shade it in their own way.
Right.
So just see how that actually gives them a lot of practice for doing the, um, what do you say, for making circles per se. Okay. And I do bisecting of a line segment.
Okay.
I work with bisecting of a line segment with the children. You may or may not do it. You can leave it, look at it if it's important. Otherwise, I don't see why I should do it in grade 4, grade say 5. But I did when I was doing working with freehand geometry. I did tell them what is midpoint. I said the point that is coming exactly in the middle of one, line is the midpoint. So bisecting is nothing but finding out the midpoint here. So
Hmm.
if you want to start from there, you can do it. It's a very clearly I've given instructions in this document. Okay.
Yes.
And then I work with angles basically. So first, you can just get them to work with lot of uh, angles. Yeah.
Using
So
this.
using the protractor, first they make a ray which is going on one side, and then you get them to keep the exactly on the point and show them how to read the numbers on the protractor and make acute angles, obtuse angles, right angle, straight angle, and so on. You also give the names for different angles, and it's a little difficult for them to understand. So I generally I just get them to use their body. I say this is a straight angle. This would be exactly 90. This would be acute angle. This would be obtuse angle. So I would do this also as movements for almost a week and then start angles. So before I introduce this through the protractor and all this, I would actually do it with the children through the body. And then slowly move on to drawing the angles. Okay. So these are other forms that have come out of that uh, the freehand jump, the division of a circle. Remember, you just did that,
Yes,
you
yes.
know. So it's come out of that only. With 6 division of a circle, you can make plenty of forms. Okay. Here, what I have done basically is, between, give me, so if there are plenty of forms, and I actually do these forms to get their geometric, I mean, drawing the circle skills better. Just to make those skills better, I get them to do this. So what I have done in this particular form is, so this is your form. Now
Yes.
what I have done here Okay, do one thing. I want you to just on this particular one, it's a little difficult. I want so from each, so you do this and you have your six arcs. From each point, I want you to come draw a circle. This time, don't make a big circle as 12 centimeters radius. Make a circle as big as what do I say? Yeah, as big as 6 centimeters. Okay, and from every point, from all 6 points, make circle. So you'll get 7 circles here.
From every point, we'll prepare the same measurement circles, that is 6 centimeter.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So so there will be overlapping circles like this.
If you're not getting all six, then you have to reduce the circle itself. So just see if you're managing.
Something like this. Yes. So from center, there is a line coming out and going and meeting this point. So going and meeting one point, है ना? Likewise, should I draw all the lines? I think I got it. I think I got it. Yes. Now I get it.
I have got it, but I only wanted to know how do I erase the another lines. Savita ma'am, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. So first I've just done these. Okay, and then I've reached, there is an intersecting point, another point here, where I've joined these two lines. And always do it on the same side. Did you get this now? Did you get how to construct these?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then, so once you've got your lines clearly, erase the rest of the form.
Huh.
And if you look at it carefully, this is an isosceles triangle. You can tell them when there is one side, when two sides are equal in a triangle, then it is called a isosceles triangle. So something like this, and I've started erasing a little bit just to get the
Yes.
form.
Yes. Yes.
Just erase everything else other than that. And that's why you need to make your constructions very light so that once you get what you want, then and once you've erased what is not needed, then they can choose how they want to color it. But always give them a little bit of guidance as to how to color these forms. If you see, it looks very simple, but the way it is shaded, no, that is the beauty. It is making the form stand out because of the way, and there can be 100 ways of coloring it. This is not the only way, but encourage each one of them to, if they don't know how to color it, then they can use your way of coloring. If they know how to do it themselves, then let them use it. Okay?
Yes, I also got it.
Yeah. And then you can sit and shade it later.
Yes. Yes.
So here we have managed to get some isosceles triangles. So angles, understanding of different types of angles, all that is, can come into your geometry, and a few forms like these can help. So, like you've done six division of circle, like that only, you can also, use the two arcs and cut the arc and do the 12 division of a circle. And so there are some forms with that also, but if you have time, you can do it. And also I feel this is more pertaining to grade 6 than grade 5. So just giving them a hang of what are angles, what are different types of angles, acute, obtuse, straight angle, complete angle, right angle, and reflex angle, exterior angle. So if they get to understand this, it will be nice. Giving them a little bit of idea of all the quadrilaterals, which we have already done in freehand geometry. If they can just know the terminology with circle, everything, complete terminology of circle, what is a tangent, what is a chord, what is a major segment, minor segment, major sector, minor sector, what do you understand by circumference, radius, diameter. You can also give sums like if the radius is 3.2 centimeters, what is the diameter? If the diameter is 7 centimeters, what is the radius? All these kind of things, and get them to do some forms, which basically helps them to use their tools.
Hmm.
And I think that should be enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
ठीक है. This is good for us.
Any questions?
We don't find out circumference, etc.
I think it is too much for a grade 5.
Yeah,
And
that
get the
all
formula
comes
and
in
do
grade
it
6
great.
and 7.
Yeah.
All
You
those
saying
sums and
something, Neeral? I couldn't hear you.
yes, the circumference, finding the circumference and everything will come at the end of 6 and by 7.
So
Right
in
now
regular
only,
conventional school also that is not happening, is what you are saying.
yes, yes. His radius and diameter is definitely inculcated. That is, radius is this, like, diameter is double the radius and everything. I only
Yes.
wanted to know how long do we expect this block to go?
3 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say 3 weeks. Definitely
per-
3 weeks.
perfect.
Because if you are doing the freehand geometry and then moving on to this, then it will definitely take you that much time.
Yes. So basically, our concern was because children are going from here to the conventional school, they should know
Mhm.
basics, how much others are aware about. At least if I take up grade 6 right now, I will at least be able to take up artistically. The way they will otherwise learn will be very edgy.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
that will be thought. And I
So I
think this
think,
is good enough
yes.
if we are
And if you
covering.
manage this much, I think it's good. It's really very good. You can manage this in grade 5. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And we've done some bit of whole year, we've done some bit of form drawing any which ways.
Yeah.
Either it was looped form or it was Indian Rangoli that we have recently started.
Hmm.
So that much we have done.
Yeah.
Tangent also we have somewhere covered in between.
Yeah. But it's nice to get it back again to, what do you say, to their consciousness, because these things, because we don't use them very often, they tend to forget it. So it's good to get back. Children, do you remember what is it? Okay, one of them remembers, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if they don't remember, then I remember I told you this is called a tangent. बस हो गया. तो फिर दूसरे दिन करो, फिर वीक के एंड में करो एक दो तीन बार, तब तक आ जाएगा. What is this radius? What is this diameter? Bijal, I've sent you the document. I've just mailed it to you.
Both the documents,
Both
grade
the
5 and
documents.
grade 6.
Yes. And I will send you the pictures of my freehand geometry, how I have taken it. If you can add it to your document, and it will help you. I'll send it on WhatsApp tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that I
and
will.
you were to also help with some children in schools, their
Yes.
work.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Actually, whatever I did on the board, I don't take a lot of pictures. Just I forget about it, yeah, somehow. But anyways, children do better job, and some of them really do wonderful job. So I'll click their pictures and send it to you. If I don't send you by tomorrow evening, Bijal, I want you to just ping me and remind me once, so that whenever I see, I remember in school also I have to do this.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, all
yes,
right.
yes. Thank you so much, Savita. This was helpful,
Yeah.
crisp, to the point.
Yes.
This makes my life
This
so
is,
easy because
Yes.
yes, this was
otherwise
very much helpful.
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
whole world and figure out. Now this is